the booth up if your dog fall in your ball hog and hit your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with you. Right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now.
Looks like we're gonna see a timeout on the side.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. Two teams that don't like each other much. One will go to Super Bowl 53 as we're underway in the 2019 NFC title game. He can't get him down. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
But that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the 50, Newton. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and it's third down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass.
Hey.
Third and long, it's Newton. Now he'll let it go deep left side. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's got room to run past the 20. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the ball before he gets there.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground rest.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
A dump down to McKinnon. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
Goodwin able to haul it in. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. Garoppolo now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Garoppolo again. He finds McKinnon, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They run with Breida. He's to the 10, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gould now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A gain of 32 that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And down to the 36-yard line here. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. 3rd and 2, Newton. And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Newton on 1st down. And caught left side, Olsen. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there of 22.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They get it to him running left. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Extra point try good by Gano. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. To throw is Garoppolo. And he's got some space here. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Finding some room at midfield. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And finally taken down at the 34. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shedding the tackle. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the 2nd.
Room here to run. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. A shotgun snap for Newton. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gano's kick is right through. So who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Just beating the play clock is Newton. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one goes for 24 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Malcolm Smith leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Hey. Gun.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton taking a shot for Samuel. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 58 yards. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one fielded at the 5. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And anywhere you can get the ball in his hands, you wanted to do so. Personally,
get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a 1st down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish?
Yeah, that was my
that to a minimal gain.
I would have went for it. They had nothing to lose.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Garoppolo on first down. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Mentor. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters a normal spacing.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On first down, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here's Newton now on second down. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Newton. Flush to his right. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Earl Mitchell able to get in there and drop him behind the line. And Gano's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the field. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ross Cockrell. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down. Newton. And he's got room. Finding room to the 20. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now the 49ers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. They'll try the air now with Newton. He goes underneath for Anderson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Newton on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Garoppolo, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. On 1st down, Garoppolo. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Garoppolo again. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation.
And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And they take a knee.
Go.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. And the crowd on its feet, and understandably so. They are Super Bowl bound after taking that knee.
How about the ability to celebrate not just winning a championship, but to do it with your fans on your home field? What a great collaboration for them all year long.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Charles, let's focus for a second on the losing side. In a couple months, they may look back and say, wow, it was a great season. But right now, I guarantee they're feeling no sugar